Hi everyone, this is Katie Carney and this is my Flosstube number 73 and it's the 9th of December 2022 and it's late here. Well, late, it's like 7 o'clock, so it's late for me. As you know, I am a morning filmer and just really not anything after 7 o'clock. But I have not had the time to film much as I've wanted to, so I didn't want to wait any longer, especially because I have a couple things that I will be giving away before Christmas, and I don't want to not show them to you. Like the last time I was here, I think it was about a month ago, and I was working on my godson's baby blanket, and I really thought that I would film before I gave that to him, and I did not. So hang on, I'm going to pull up some pictures because that's probably one of my biggest FFOs of the year. And I did that thing in 3 weeks. And if any of you are knitters, you know that that's not that's not how that works. So it was a real miracle. So hang on one second. I'm going to pull pictures up on my cell phone and hope you can see them. All right, so I'm going to try not to get my ring light in here too much. But that's it. It says Hush Baby, Sleep Baby. That's on the back of my couch. And he used that at his baptism, which was beautiful. It was at St. Pat's Church in Scranton. And here is Mark and I with him. Let me see if I can. So there's me and Mark and Nicholas, my godson. So cute. So it was a beautiful day, and I'm honored to be his godmother, and I was honored to make him that blanket. I did not cross stitch at all while I was working on that. There was just, all I did was knit. I did hurt my hands, so then after I finished it, I was a little burned out, and my hands were like not used to knitting, so there was definitely some hand pain. Otherwise, things are good here. I continue to see my cardiologist monthly. We have upped the med I'm on. We've doubled the dose. I took the first new dose today. So I went from 5 milligrams to 10. So I know doubling makes it sound like big, but it's not. It's not a hot, none of them, the max dose is 15. So at this point, I'll be right in the middle. So we'll see. I've only been on it I took it this morning, so I don't know what's going to happen. Anyway, as you know, this is a Flosstube, so it's a video about cross-stitching, so I'm going to talk about cross-stitching and sewing and knitting. It's my channel. I'll do what I want. So you may remember that I am meeting with one of the sisters that where I work for spiritual direction on Sundays, and that I had started a piece for her, and it was like a round piece with flowers, and then it had the prologue to John's Gospel. So I finished that, and I went to Michael's on a Sunday. I finished it on a Saturday night. I went to Michael's to find a hoop to put it in. And they had nothing. So I found one of those cruddy plastic anchor that looked like fake wood frames, and it was 10 inches, and I really needed like 11, which they didn't have. And I said, well, I'll get it, and then I'll go to Joann's and see if they have anything. And if they do, then I'll return this. And if they don't, this is what I'm going to have to use. It's a Sunday, Hobby Lobby's closed. And I said, but let's take a walk through the frame department and see if they have anything. And would you believe that they did? I'm sorry about my ring light, but it's 7 o'clock at night, so it's very dark. So it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and God was the Word. And the Word was God, excuse me. Now, I realize that the top, there's like space here and here. This was the top flower, not this. And I messed that up, but I don't think it looks terrible. I added this flower, but then I couldn't really figure out where else to add them. And I said, you know what? I'm not perfect. She knows that. Nothing's perfect. So I think she's going to love it. Like I said, I found this frame at Michael's. I bought 2 of them because it's so perfect for one of these round pieces. And I've never seen a frame like this at the store. Of course, it wasn't on sale. But it was still, I think it was with the 20% coupon, maybe $15. And then there was a fairly thick piece of foam, and I just wrapped it around that and I put the floss all the way around and then tightened it. And that's it. So I'm going to give this to Sister on Sunday, and I hope she loves it. I do. I think she'll like it. I can't imagine she won't like it. I don't know. So my first session with her, she gives me homework every week, and that was the homework, was to read that and to sit with it and ponder it. Sorry, I had a cheesesteak for dinner. It was salty. I had a cheesesteak because my uncle came in. So my family is from Ballina in County Mayo, Ireland. It's actually the sister city to Scranton. All the Irish from here are mostly from Ballina. This is where they settled. So we have in my family a steamer trunk that came over. Now you've got to remember, we're talking potato famine. Like, we've been here a long time. My grandmother's family is Polish. They've been here much less. So my Uncle Kevin had the steamer trunk. My grandmother had kind of fixed it up, and he took it. This is years ago. And he moved into a much smaller house and gave it to my uncle, Tim, and just was like, I don't care what you do with it. And my uncle messaged me and said, hey, do you want this? And I said, is that the steamer trunk from Ireland? And he said, yes. So of course I want it. It's like the only thing we have from Ireland. So of course I said, well, yes, I want it. But then it had to come to Scranton. It's big, it's heavy. It is now at the foot of the spare bed, but there was my sewing machine was there. So now my sewing machine's in here, and I keep thinking I can't fit anything else in these 2 rooms. And I can, and I do, but it's gotten to a point where, like, my surfaces are never cleaned off anymore, ever. Like, I can't decorate anything because the surfaces are just always covered. And it's a little anxiety inducing, but what are you going to do? So the trunk is here. We got dinner with my uncle, takeout here. So that was nice. And my dad came down to help move it. So it was a good night, but it was a salty dinner. Okay, back to cross stitch. I have more finishes. This was a finish from a while ago that I still need to put some stuffing in and sew closed. This is just a little pillow. Well, it's going to be a pillow. But that's not good. Here's the backing that I used. And the next time you see it, hopefully I'll have put some stuffing in it. I've just not been in the mood to finish this year. Next are froz. So these are my ornaments, but they are the ones that I made. I made 40 some of them for my grandmother to pick from, and then I'm keeping the rest. So I did Danish stars this year. And I'm just going to show you a couple of them. They're actually very easy, but they take about a half hour each. So it was a lot of time. A lot of time. So just an assortment of the 20 some I have left. Actually, I think I have like 18 here, and then I have a couple that I still have to like finish. But if I don't need them, I'm not going to do it. Then the last time we spoke, I was very close to finishing this Prairie Schooler Santa, the 1991. This would have been my 3rd for the year, and I had been working on it forever. Well, eventually when you work on something forever, you do finish it. And here is my Prairie Schooler Santa 1990, and you can see that I wrote 1990 and 2022 here. So it's called for DMC, an 18 count oatmeal Ada from Michael's or Hobby Lobby. So there's that. And then I have another finish. So As you know, Mark and I go on a fall train trip every year. That's like our thing for my birthday. And I decided on Friday of last week, so a week ago, that I was going to make him a train ornament for Christmas because he doesn't like presents. So it's very difficult to shop for him because he gets mad. So I usually make him something. And I said, well, I'll make him a train ornament. So I went on Etsy. I typed in train ornaments. I found one that I liked. And on Saturday, I went to pull the DMC, and I thought I didn't have one of the reds. And I was like, maybe I'll use my DMC Diamante, like metallic thread. Because I bought every color they make it in. That's a good idea. I love working with metallics. Mark loves shiny. I am very boring. And so, whereas I like white lights and a Victorian Christmas, Mark wants you to see it from space. He's an electrical engineer and I have a history degree, and it's one of the ways that we kind of go separate ways. So anyway, not only did I decide to use the metallic thread, I then decided to use an opalescent Ada. And here it is. So the greens are all regular DMC, but the reds and the black and the gray and the copper are the Diamante or whatever it is. So it came out really cute. There we go. It only took a couple days. It would have been faster, except I was using metallics. The black metallic is actually really great to work with. Highly recommend. The copper was awful. The wheels are supposed to be filled in, but I did start filling them in and I didn't like it, so I pulled it out. Then I got a Christmas package from a stitcher friend, and she included a piece of finishing fabric that she knew she wasn't going to use. And it's this. And it is the perfect finishing fabric for my train. I think I'm leaning towards a flat fold. Just mounting it onto a piece of cardboard and the fabric on a piece of cardboard and hot gluing it together. But that is a next week Katie problem because I just don't like finishing. I really don't. So that's my finishes and my fully finishes. Now let's show you some whips. Not as many as you might think, considering you haven't seen me in forever, but that's okay. My first is right after I finished the baby blanket, my hands were still hurting, and my brother sent me a message and said, "Hey, do you still make socks?" And I was like, I mean, I still know how. And he commissioned me-ish to make him 2 pairs. So this is using a fingering weight and size 2 needles. And I've just been working on this. I worked on it on the way to Philadelphia. So what I'll do is I'll go 6 inches down, turn the heel, and then the length of his foot. Ideally, I'm going to Philly tomorrow, and I have several other trips to Philly between now and Christmas for Christmas shows. So I should have at least the first sock done for him to try on when he's here for Christmas. And then I will know if I'm on the right track. So that was my first whip. What else have I been working on? I started the next Prairie Schooler Santa. So this is the 1991 Santa. And this is what I'm currently working on. It's funny. The pattern. Oh, it does change a little bit. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is what I'm working on. Sorry, I was looking at the pattern on the back. And I have this in a hoop. I usually don't use these in a hoop, but I was having some trouble stitching in hand, so I've got a big start on that. Can you stand it? But that's okay. I figured out that these last 2 have introduced several colors that I I have a full set of DMC until I don't. So I have to go through, pull the rest of the colors for this, and if I don't have them, I'll get them tomorrow morning, right when the craft store opens. Then I decided I wanted to work on something Christmassy after I finished Sister Redempta's piece. So I pulled out this not Christmas piece, Winter Rose Manor. The Prairie Schooler I'm doing on an 18-count oatmeal. Ada using the called for DMC, except for where I don't have it, and then I have to go to the craft store. Onward and upward. So here we are. This is Winter Rose Manor by Brenda Gervais. I started this last Christmas, somewhere around Christmas, like during December. I am using a 32-count Bramble Belfast linen. And I am using is it Victorian Motto? Or I don't know. There is a silk conversion, and that's what I'm using. And what I have done was this, which is so pretty. And then just these little flowers here. And I think I finished the green here. It's very pleasant. The silk is very pleasant to work with. So I do hope to get some more work on this done during the holiday season. But there's been I don't know if it's the weather or the holidays or my stress level, but I have been squirrel and working on whips, mostly except for the train. So then one day I was not in the mood to work on that, and I wasn't in the mood to knit. And I did spend a lot of time on Frost ornaments. Like I said, they take about a half hour each. But when I was stitching, I decided to pull out Little House Needleworks Kringles. You have all seen this a great many times. I love this. I am using the called for fabric, which is 30 count Persian gray. And then I'm using the called for DMC and Classic Colorworks. I bought it as a kit. And all I did was, in this section here, I added in all this white. So slowly but surely getting some white in. And that's it for my whips. I don't have much to show for a month. The baby blanket was huge and took forever. I will post a link to my Instagram page. I did post pictures of the baby laying on the blanket so you could actually see it. That was a big undertaking. And then Frost ornaments were also a very big undertaking because I doubled the amount I needed to do and I waited until November to do them. And it was just a lot of standing with the iron, getting the sewing machine out. And then things have just been wild, moving the sewing machine, a different sewing machine into here, trying to make room in a room that there's no room in. We have not decorated for Christmas. The tree's down, but there's no ornaments on it. The wreaths are up. The manger is kind of out. It just kind of is what it is. I have a couple decorations up in my bedroom. I have a little pillow that says Mary. I copied off of Vanna. Vanna posted on Facebook, Vanna Pfeiffer, the Twisted Stitcher, a couple weeks ago or a month or so, a willow tree nativity set, which I had never seen before. And I thought, oh, that's beautiful. And then I went to Willow Tree's website to see it. She had the whole thing. And they had this beautiful single piece colored, which Willow Tree is usually white, of the Holy Family. So it's Joseph, and he kind of has his hand over Mary, and she's holding the baby Jesus, and it's just beautiful. So my grandmother got me that for my Christmas gift, and I have that in my office at work. And I had seen the picture of Vanna's nativity set, and I was like, oh, it's pretty, but So we COVID test at work. And I help. I'm a secretary, so I write on the tests and stuff. So I was in one of the sisters' rooms chatting with her while she's getting her COVID test. And I turn around and she has the whole thing, the whole willow tree nativity. And it like stopped my heart. It was so beautiful. So I know that Christmas is a time for giving, but I had a 40% off coupon to Hallmark. So I got the starter set, which is Mary, Joseph, the baby, a couple sheep, a shepherd, and a donkey. And so I have that up in my bedroom, and it's so cute. I love it so much. So, I mean, you know, a little bit of decorations here and there. I have the reindeer Mark got me a couple Christmases ago out. And that's really it. We need hooks for our Christmas ornaments. The Christmas ornaments are down, but not on the tree. The hooks are coming tomorrow. It's early yet. Fra doesn't like to decorate until after the Immaculate Conception, the Feast of the Immaculate Conception, which was yesterday, which is the biggest feast day at work. So it was like a crazy day at work yesterday. But the sisters all got dressed up and they had a big party. So that was nice. And it's nice to be there for their happy days. So that was good. And then for haul, I don't really have much. I got these at Walmart last week. They're create your own embroidery sets. I just thought they were so cute, so I grabbed them if I need a Christmas gift last minute or for myself. And then I got a Christmas gift from my friend Neshka, and she got me a book called The Pocket. Women used to wear pockets like this that were heavily embroidered. There's lots of stories about them. And so this is the private life of the pocket. So I'm really excited to read that. I need to actually read and not play on my cell phone. But yeah, and then I got my Christmas box from a stitcher, which I'm so grateful for. So everything's good here. Status quo. I'm going to see the orchestra tomorrow. I'm taking Fra and 2 friends to the ballet on Sunday. We're seeing the Ukrainian National Ballet Company, and they are doing Swan Lake. So that'll be fun. I hope to be back the week in between Christmas and New Year's. I suffer under no delusions that I'll get here before Christmas. But for Whip Parade, I've written down all my whips. I didn't want to pull them all out tonight because, whoa. But I do want to do a Whip Parade before the New Year, so stay tuned for that. I probably won't see you. I hope that you all have a wonderful, safe, happy, blessed Christmas. Christmas is such a magical time of year for so many reasons. For me, the real magic is midnight mass, and I found a church that's having one, thank God. So my friends and I will be going to midnight mass at 10 p.m. I'll be having my traditional Christmas party, and I'm very, very excited. So, keep your fingers crossed that nothing gets in the way of that. I hope you have a blessed holiday season. I love you. I'm grateful for you. Thank you for your comments, your likes, for subscribing. I'm very, very grateful. So Merry Christmas, y'all, and I'll see you soon. Stay safe. Bye.